Welcome back to Zephram. I'm not qualified.
And I'm Zeph. That got me. I didn't have anything to say to that.
Well, it was a pretty good intro.
It was. Hey, tell me something. Answer this question.
Mm-hmm.
Is that annoying?
Backstreet Boys.
Now that was annoying.
That's a reference you'll get if you're smart.
Was what I did annoying?
It was.
What if I do this? And I'm really close to your face.
Arctic Turn.
Okay, so my question for you is that as annoying as the most annoying thing that you've ever seen in a movie?
No.
Let's talk about it. Theme song. No, that's just for me to edit the theme song. Actually, you know what? You go ahead and do this one. Let's go. We can't use that. That's
Mom, Phineas and Ferb are making a title sequence.
Can't use that either.
Mom, Steve and Kyle are making a title sequence.
Perfect. What's up, everybody? I'm Steve.
And I'm Kyle.
Welcome back, Colin. Today we're talking about things in movies that we are very annoyed by.
Peeve us off a little bit.
That make us peeved. I am so peeved right now, even thinking about these.
I used to peeve the bed all the time.
Dude,
I used to have a TV in
every
my room,
day in the toilet, in the pavoilet.
Yeah, you pull up Netflix on your phone and you're just peeving in there.
Just peeving all the time. Listen, I think that what we're doing today is going to be a series. I think I'm probably going to do this with like Joe and Noah and whoever else.
And Colin too.
And Colin probably if he ever comes back to town. And we're gonna do this because movie pet peeves are a fun topic, and I have so many of them. I
have a short list, but I've got a big one that I happen to remember on here. We'll save that one.
Let's start. Let's give examples of what we're talking about. So I'll give a couple easy ones. So like one example of what we mean by movie pet peeves, things that happen in movies that just take you out of it. They're just annoying.
Yeah, you're in the zone.
You're watching, you're enjoying the story, and then this happens, and you're like, come on.
You're like,
that's
really?
So dumb. And it happens all the time in movies. One is, this is a great example, gun noises in movies. So every time a character picks up a gun, it sounds like he's pulling the hammer back on a revolver. Like it clicks.
You're just picking it up off the table.
He just picks it up off the table and it's like,
yeah.
And it sounds like a chamber, like it's being chambered every time he touches it.
It sounds like a shotgun, chambering.
Yes.
Like
it sounds like
just a pistol.
He's loading a shell into a double-barrel shotgun.
And it sounds like he's
all he
shoving.
Did was touch a revolver.
He sounds like he's loading a musket.
Yeah.
And he's just...
like John Wick will pick up a Glock, and it sounds like you just dropped a bag of ammo on the ground.
Yeah.
So that's an example.
But an add-on to that is, so if you've ever used a gun, there's like the slide action cocking mechanism. But then they'll just pull the hammer back with their thumb. I'm like, that's not how that works. You have to slide that. Like the gun's not
they're assuming
work
every revolver is like an Old
but
West
sometimes some guns aren't revolvers. Like you can't just pull the hammer back.
You're talking about you're talking about when they have like a Glock and they pull the hammer back
with their thumb. You have to slide. It's a slide action.
I get what you're saying. I thought you were talking about how like they will. I get you now.
Right. You can't pull the hammer back on a Glock and expect it to fire.
Yeah.
You could on a revolver, but like they just assume everything is a revolver, and it's not.
They do. Well, because they want that. Oh, he's ready to kill now because he pulled the hammer.
Yeah,
back.
Like John Wick gets it right with the slide action because you'll see him just slide
they do some
back
weird
a Glock.
and like cool reloading stuff with that in those movies.
Suspend the disbelief.
I get what you're saying. I thought you were just talking about revolvers themselves and how they don't all work the same, but they will treat them like they're all the same. Old West 6-shooters. But you're talking about it's even dumber than that because you're right. They'll not even revolvers, just any gun.
They'll just pull the hammer back. And if it doesn't have a hammer, they'll put it up with one hand and then it'll go. And they didn't do anything. They didn't. They shook it and it goes. And you're like, whoa.
But at the same time, it makes sense. It
has to. You have to just.
It makes the audience feel like it was a gun.
So that's what we're talking about. Pointless things that you get hung up on. And you're thinking about it for 6 minutes and you miss the next scene.
Yes. Okay. Can I tell you my biggest one? Let's just start with
Start with your biggest one and I'll save mine.
Okay. It's okay. So this is my biggest one. And it's not just movies. It's books as well.
Okay.
Books do this. TV shows do this. I hate it. I actually hate it. And I can't quite explain to you why, except that I think it is so lame and uncreative and meaningless. That is not anything to do with the movie itself, like watching the movie. It's to do with the title. So one example of this is a smaller version of this is I hate when sequels are just called blank 2.
Yeah.
Like, give it a subtitle.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with that. But
it's fine sometimes. I mean, I don't really hate it. This is the milder version, but I do think it's uncreative.
It's like
call it Empire Strikes
you
Back.
Put all that creative effort.
Temple of Doom.
Put all the creative effort into making the movie, and you just put 2 on it. Like that just seems like a little lackluster.
I think it's fine to give it a 2, but give it a subtitle.
Yeah.
Give it a colon something.
Right.
Just make it, or my favorite is when they just give it a new title and you're just expected to know it's a sequel. Mm-hmm. That's what I like better.
Right, and I prefer the colon method because, as we talked about last time I was on the show, I'm not as
I get you. It's
avid
hard to
of a
keep
movie
up.
watcher.
It's hard to keep up.
I need to know,
because
if it just says, if it's like Temple Dungeon Raider, then you're like, oh, cool, and then I realize that that's
Tomb Raider
100 years later from the Tomb Raider. Then it's like, well, I might have wanted to watch that,
Yeah.
But if it has a colon,
then you understand.
It's like, okay,
and I'm fine with colons, but at least you're coming up with something new.
Right.
But just putting a 2 on the end.
That's a little lazy. That's like the second episode of some series.
I'm even okay with part 2 or volume 2. That's at least like you feel like it's part of a set. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. It's not about, I don't even care if you come up with a subtitle. I just don't like when it's just 2.
Right.
Like you just put a number on it. Like that seems lame. Mm-hmm. At least make it a Roman numeral.
Yeah.
Okay. And then going along with that, this is my real big pet peeve.
Okay.
That was a light version of it, of what I'm talking about.
Pet peeve light.
Pet peeve of movie
It's
titles.
right across from PetSmart.
Yes. And right next to PetSense.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my actual biggest pet peeve ever. Mm-hmm. And it's when movies or books or TV shows or video games are named after the main character. And that's the title of the thing.
Yeah. It's like if Tomb Raider was called Lara Croft.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not cool.
It's just dumb. And I watched John Wick recently. It was a good movie.
Yeah.
I hate the title. Come up with a cooler title. John Wick. That's so lame. And this extends so far.
I mean, you got Jack Reacher. I mean, wasn't that the Tom Cruise movie with the...
And then you've got...
That's what it was called, right?
And this is what gets annoying is sometimes people... Like, it won't be called that, and then people will just call it that because that's what they remember it by, and then it becomes the name, like Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones was not called Indiana Jones. Raiders of the Lost Ark was the first movie, but everybody called it Indiana Jones, and then they called the second one Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
It's peeving, but I'll give them credit because since there's it's a multiple movies, they're going to say, "Have you seen Indiana Jones?" And they're talking about the whole thing.
Yes,
but you say, "Yes, I've seen all of them."
But here's the thing,
right?
Have you seen Star Wars?
I mean, yes.
Yeah, and that's not named after a character, but you knew what I meant.
Right.
You knew I meant multiple movies.
Right. You didn't say, have you seen Luke Skywalker?
Did you see Luke Skywalker and the Jabba the Hutt?
Darth Vader? Yeah. And then you see, Darth Maul?
And I think why it bugs me is because it doesn't actually describe what the movie's about in any way. It's not a descriptive title. And you can name it, you can come up with a mumbo jumbo gibberish name for every character. And so you could literally call your movie anything. You could call it Dingleberry McFadden, and it's fine. It tells you nothing about the genre or about what the movie is. Right. And this is like, so I love Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter. The worst thing about Harry Potter is the title. It's literally a book series about secret wizards that exist in the world and live among us, and there's magic. There are so many cool titles that you could come up with for that.
And it's Harry Potter and this.
Harry Potter and this is what he does in this one.
Yeah,
and it's just Harry Potter. It's just his name.
Harry Potter. Oh, and then the Goblet of Fire happens. When there's so much more to that movie.
And he doesn't even have an interesting name. It's not even like Artemis Fowl. Like, at least that's kind of cool sounding. Harry Potter is an average British guy name.
His name's Harry.
His name's Harrison.
And his lineage, they made pots, probably.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, how exciting is that?
Yeah.
They made pots.
How am I supposed to know what this book's
about? In freaking Yorkshire.
Yeah.
His family was making pots.
And then they were magic.
Yeah. Magic
but I don't know that they're magic from the title. It's just his name.
Yeah.
It just bugs me. I'm like, come up with, like, you could call it witchcraft and wizardry or I don't know, anything.
Yeah.
You can come up with anything with magic in the title, and it would be cool. Cooler than Harry Potter. Anyway, that's my biggest pet peeve. I don't like when things are just named after the characters.
Yeah, I understand. I'm with you, but like I said,
I get it, though. I do get it.
If you're less immersed in the movies, then you're like, I need to know exactly what I'm about to get. So
that's almost why. That's what I'm saying.
It's a dumbed down title, but it's for a dumbed down viewer.
Well, I get it, but I feel like for the dumbed down viewer, if they want to know what they are going to get, they should just call it something that, like, Star Wars is a good title. You know exactly what you're getting with Star Wars. Right. If it was called Luke Skywalker, you'd have no idea what that movie's about until you saw it.
Yeah.
It tells you nothing.
It's true.
Anyway, that's my biggest one. Do you have another one?
I have. It's a big shift from that. I hate it when there are characters in movies that are literally just there for comic relief. and they could have been written out. I do not like unnecessary comic relief.
That's totally fair.
Unnecessary comic relief
Jar Jar
is the
Binks.
worst. Yeah,
well, I guess he was central to the plot. Even
I liked
even Jar Jar.
That's it's a hot takes episode. Jar Jar. I mean, I'm Team Jar Jar all the way.
Okay, I'm with you. I'm not.
Jar Jar Binks.
I'm okay with Jar Jar. I like Jar Jar too.
I think they had the whole thing for him, and it should have happened, is my opinion.
Who's the character from Ice Age? Is Sid the comic relief?
Yes, Sid the Sloth. Yeah, that's him. Yeah. But see, in that, it's a kids movie. I think that comic relief is necessary.
He still contributes.
And he has a little bit of an arc. But
right.
Are we going to break down Ice Age real quick? Or are we just going to...
If you want to, go for it. That's a movie with a good title. Yeah, I know exactly what I'm getting.
I know what I'm getting. And then it's Ice Age, the Meltdown. And then Ice Age, Dawn of the Dinosaur. They have 5 of those,
They've got great titles.
And there's 5 of them.
But they're bad. The sequels, I think, are mostly like, I don't know.
I think the first one's great, second one's good, and then they're just mid. They're watchable.
You know what? I think you might be right, because I don't know if I've seen anything past the 5th.
I watched all the first 4. I'm missing the 5th, I think.
Is 4 Dawn of the Dinosaurs?
It's Ice Age.
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Nope. Is that one of... No. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. No. It's Ice Age, then Ice Age, the Meltdown. And then I think it's Ice Age, Dawn of the Dinosaurs is 3rd. I think.
What's Glacial Freeze? Is that a Mountain Dew flavor?
Sounds like a Mountain Dew. Okay, here, solve this for us.
Hey, speaking of Ice Age with great titles, you know what's a kids movie that's better?
Yeah.
But it has a way worse title? Shrek. It's a better movie, but that's just his name. It sucks.
Yeah. So we got Ice Age. Ice Age the Meltdown.
Yep.
Then it's going to be Ice Age Dawn of the Dinosaurs.
Yep.
Ice Age Continental Drift.
Oh,
what you're looking for next.
Yeah.
Then it's Ice Age Collision Course.
Don't know that one.
Which is space.
All right.
And then Ice Age Adventures of Buck Wild, which is a spin-off movie. It's a movie. It's a movie. Okay. It's a spin-off of a character you meet in Dawn of the Dinosaurs. So I've seen Ice Age, I've seen Meltdown, I've seen Dawn of the Dinosaurs, and Continental Drift. I've never seen Collision Course and
those all kind of sound like Mountain Dew flavors. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Here's the thing, and they're all good. I had no problem with any of these movies.
They're probably fine. Yeah,
it's like going. You know what you're getting. It's a lighthearted animate. I mean, and you just
if you buy a ticket to a Minions movie
and the first
and then you get mad,
3 of them,
fault.
I think the first 3 were actually Ray Romano as the voice of Manny.
But
then the 4th one,
no.
Then the 4th one, I think they switched voice actors, which throws you off, but you get back into it.
Okay.
But I don't think they should have made this change. I don't know why Ray Romano jumped ship on the franchise.
He probably just got tired of it.
But he's a mammoth voice.
He said, if you're not bringing back Rusted Root, I don't want to be here.
We're going to do an exercise real quick. Okay. It's the first not qualified exercise. I want everybody to close your eyes.
Okay.
Okay. I want you to picture Ray Romano's voice, whether you think he's doing stand-up or on his show, whatever. What other animal could you put with that voice that's not a mammoth? You can't do it. He's a mammoth, I'm sorry. If you had to have a talking animal, Ray Romano will always be a mammoth, an elephant, maybe a hippo.
That's a good point. Except when I think of hippos, I think of the sassy black hippo from Madagascar.
So that's a whole other category. Let's break down Madagascar real quick. Okay. No. Anyway, so that would be categories with necessary comic relief. The whole thing's supposed to be funny. But I'm talking about like a character that's like 3 characters are like having dialogue about something that's about to happen in the movie. And then there's some comic relief character just for no reason.
That's don't like, contribute to the plot.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you mean.
There's I can't think of examples right now. But
that's fine. Who needs them? This is not qualified. Also, but you're right, though. Anybody, like, there's so many movies with just comic relief characters.
It's just there for that. Yep. And you're like, go away, and this movie would be better.
Yep, absolutely. Here's a quickie. I don't like when cop characters or like generals are commanding like people in a
or when they're women. Yeah,
that too. But also when they say when they're looking at a picture of like a security camera that took of a bad guy or a satellite image, and they say zoom and enhance.
Zoom and enhance.
Hey, zoom in and enhance that, and then somebody goes beep, 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 and then it just does it.
Apple can pretty much do that.
Yeah, but it can't do it accurate. It's generating.
Well, it's just AI.
AI, so they don't actually know. Usually they're zooming in on a guy's face.
They catch a guy.
They catch somebody, but it's the AI chose to arrest that person.
Yeah, and so that's why it's not illegal because it's not them. They didn't do it.
We have the proof. Yes, it's AI generated, but that's your face. What, are you gonna argue with your face?
You try.
Yeah, try. Go ahead. Anyway, so yeah, zoom and enhance is one. Also, go along with that is like hacker characters, where they're like,
because they don't do much. They
just
can't.
They just type on the computer, and for some reason the command prompt is open on the screen, and then they're just like clickety clacking, and it's green text. And
they just opened. What's it called? The task manager.
That's all. They open task manager. And close in process.
Click and drag. Yes. Scroll in.
I'm gonna copy this folder to my flash drive.
Close. Restart PC.
We're in. Yeah. Okay.
We're in.
Do you have another one?
Yeah, this is my main one.
Okay.
So, it really pulls me out of a movie when... Okay, first of all, let me preface this. I like fast-paced movies. Okay. I am a huge fan of the John Wick series. I think I'm one movie short of watching everything that's out right now.
I've only seen the first one.
And they're all good. I don't even care. It doesn't have to be that important why the things are happening. I just need the movie to move.
Yeah.
And I just finished the Reacher series on Amazon Prime, and I was in love with it because it didn't stop. It was nonstop action. It was moving the whole time,
booking it,
and they were still progressing towards the purpose. Same with John Wick. He had the guys he wanted to catch. He knew who they were the whole time, and he's chasing them the whole movie. That's it. I hate it when there's a movie like that. It's moving along, chugging along great, and there are characters that can't make a decision when it matters. I don't care if you're struggling, like, if it's a more of an emotional movie. Like, and they're struggling with the decision on hurting family or friends. Like, I get that. Emotional decisions do not count. But if it's like there's a bad guy running at you with a weapon and you have one already drawn, shoot him. This is not the time to have an emotional existential crisis. Fair. Make the decision. Like,
Yeah, I kind of hate... I kind of hate... Going along with that, I hate when characters are like, if we kill them, it brings us down to their level. Or
yeah, I don't need you to be emotional.
Revenge. We now, like, they're trying to take the high road and then let the bad guy live, and then the bad guy comes back.
Yeah, it's like, what is this, VeggieTales? Like,
it's like, come on, kill him.
Yeah.
It's one thing about Tarantino that's pretty fun is that his characters take revenge at every chance.
Exactly. Because it's a movie.
Yeah, it's a movie. It's not real life. In real life, yes. No. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
In real life, I might have mercy, but it's like, again, if somebody's running at me with a katana and I've got a gun drawn, I'm gonna pull the trigger. It's not gonna be like, I'm going to try to dodge, I'll give him a chance. Mm-hmm. And then try to bet. I'm going to shoot.
Hey, put that down. Shot. Like, no, he's running with me.
Strike 3. It's like, I'm going to tase you. No, I'm killing you.
Yeah, you have a katana. You're trying to chop me in half.
You're trying to chop me in half. Because I've never seen a bad guy hesitate.
Good point. Well, I have, only when they give monologues.
And then they die.
Yeah, because they give a monologue.
So, what does hesitation get you?
You caught me monologuing. My last two are completely unrelated. So, I'm going to bring us home here. I hate when in a movie when a family cooks a full meal and then doesn't eat it. So it's usually breakfast for some reason.
Oh, what was it? I'm not sure. Did that happen in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
Probably.
That's a
great movie.
It's a good movie. It's a really good movie.
Rick Moranis.
I feel like that happened because he's tinkering and he's doing all this whatever he's doing.
Ooh, that's a trope we can talk about because that's the opposite of this. That's
Tinkering Dads.
Tinkering Dads are my favorite trope. Yeah,
for Tinkering Dads.
I can only think of 3 examples.
I think of one right now. It's a good one, animated. I'm not king of animated movies.
Beauty and the Beast.
Nope, it's Epic. You seen Epic?
Oh, the movie Epic?
Yeah.
No, I have not.
Dude, incredible movie.
So there's that. There's Beauty and the Beast as a Tinkerer Dad. Mm-hmm. There's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
And any of the Tinkerbell movies.
Yeah.
Like,
okay,
it's in the movie.
Stupid. And then Gremlins.
Okay, wait a minute.
Gremlins.
Wait, no, back up. Example. Gremlins is great, but what's wrong with Tinkerbell?
Because you're just saying he's a Tinkerer Dad because his named his daughter Tinker.
No, have you seen the movies?
No.
Then you need to shut up because you're not qualified.
So it's so true. But I hate when characters.
They're great movies though. I've seen.
Are you being for real?
I'm being legit. We can do another episode. I've seen. I think there's 8 Tinkerbell movies.
All right.
And I've seen 4 of them, and everything I watched was really good.
All right. I believe you.
I'm not kidding.
I'm in.
I'm also not qualified.
That's so true. They cook usually breakfast and they don't
breakfast.
eat it. They argue about something or they all talk and then they're like, they look at their watch and they're like, oh, the bus is here or whatever. And then they take one bite of toast with jam and drink their coffee really fast and then they straighten their tie and then run out the door with their
and they leave the cold eggs on the floor and the dog comes in.
Yes. And there's a whole plate of food there. Or sometimes it's not even that dramatic. Sometimes they literally just don't eat.
Yeah.
Like there will be movies
the wife will put it down.
They set the table and then the whole thing is some dramatic. They don't even address it sometimes. Sometimes they do that. Sometimes they just all talk. The whole scene is them talking and they'll have food on their fork. You know what I mean? Like it'll be there. It never goes in their mouth. And they do that for continuity reasons because they know they're going to have to edit this later and they don't want it to be cutting back to their plate and there's more food, there's less food, there's more food. They don't want them to eat.
But I mean, hey, do that. The original Batman's got away with that all the time.
Yeah, have people eat in your movies.
Yeah.
It's fine. And then pick. That's the thing is they're trying to pick the best line, each line from each character and like edit them together. Like, ooh, that you delivered that one well.
Just
I don't want that. I
be
want
a
you to
better
film,
actor.
Be
do
the
a good scene.
Film the whole
no
scene.
take. Yeah.
Whole scene. You're
no
eating
cuts.
throughout the scene. No cuts. And then you do that 90 times and you pick the best one.
Yeah, you pick
of the
the best
whole
scene.
scene.
I mean, they're getting paid big enough bucks for you to do that, and it's not like you're wasting film. Okay, we're not idiots over here.
Yeah, I'm not stupid. Okay, I'm just not qualified. And then my last. Are you ready for my last one?
I'm ready for your last one.
This has bugged me my whole life. I hate it.
Bug's Life?
No, good movie.
See,
I don't know if they do that in this.
Probably in the same universe as Tinkerbell.
Maybe, honestly, Little People.
Yeah.
Or Randy Newman's Short People. Randy Newman. He should update that song. Yeah.
He should turn that into a movie.
Make it PC.
I think if you turn that into a movie, it would go really well.
They already made it. It's Wizard of Oz.
Is it?
Yeah, they got no reason to live because that one short person hangs himself off the golden brick road, yellow brick road.
Yeah, that.
So they say.
Yeah.
And also Pink Floyd, if you start the album
and you play it backwards, and if you turn the record player upside down
and
while
listen
you play
to it while you're underwater
and play it backwards
in your bathtub with a toaster,
right? And that's so you have to listen to it, and it tells you where the clue is,
and then you
can get into the Goblet of Fire for that.
Absolutely. Did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire? So this has bugged me my whole life. It's usually in rom-coms, but it's
Adam Sandler. Yeah, I hate him too.
It's also in sitcoms a lot, like TV shows.
Oh.
And it's where two characters will be walking down the sidewalk together.
Yep.
Usually in New York, in a big city, they're walking down the sidewalk together and they're discussing something. They're talking, and then one of them says something real important, or says something that's like the other makes the other person go what? And they will kind of like speed up and like come in front of them, and the wheel like whip around and face them.
Yep.
And they will both stop walking in the middle of the sidewalk. It'll be like, what? And like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not even dramatic. Yep. Sometimes they don't even say something shocking. They're just talking. And then at one point, for some reason, he just like stops. They're not walking anymore. One of them turns and stops in front of the other one. They're facing each other in the middle of the sidewalk.
Yep.
And just, they've stopped walking. They were going somewhere, but apparently they forgot that. They don't care now. Now they're talking in the middle of the sidewalk.
And the other thing is, most of the time, they never told us where we were going as a viewer.
No,
you don't know where they're walking for some reason.
They're just walking, and then maybe one of them's holding the coffee.
And they drove
or a bag.
in the last scene.
Yeah, they were in a taxi or they were driving.
And now they're walking, and who knows? Nobody. And then the next scene, they're home. Good job.
Okay,
and they got there by standing still.
But they got there by standing still because in the middle of their conversation, for some reason, they felt the need to stop in the middle of the road.
Right.
But the thing that gets to me is I've tried it in real life to see how, like, I think it was Joseph in high school. I was like, come with me outside. We're going to try this and see if
so
it's
it was me
natural.
With you. Yeah, we did that.
And or maybe. You, Joseph, with me. And I was like, let's try this. And we were walking. And the problem with it is that it's actually impossible to do in a natural way.
Right.
You cannot, because you're walking the same speed. You're walking down the sidewalk. If you want to get in front of them and turn around and face them to where they have time to stop and
they
not
have to
run
stop
into
first.
They have to stop first, or you have to start walking way faster than them for 3 steps.
Yeah.
Awkwardly take 3 giant steps to get in front of them and whip around and face them.
Yeah.
And in movies, they do it because they're sick of having to film with moving backgrounds. They're like, okay, let's have establish that you're walking.
What they should do,
and let's do the rest of the scene with you standing
honestly,
here.
this is the first one that I think I have a solution for.
Okay.
I think so. They're walking right. They pass the tree and the houses that you've seen the whole movie.
Yep.
And then when they get to a certain point in the conversation, they need to just cut.
Yep.
Right. Go back to where they started talking.
Yep.
And then continue the scene there.
Just
from that
teleport
point.
back.
Right, and then start talking again. You'd never know because it's just a cut. But then you'd be like, man, we passed that house a lot.
They should just have them on a treadmill walking.
Yeah.
And then have a set.
A couple of guys with a cardboard tree.
They just run behind them with cardboard trees.
And then they can speed them up and slow them down.
They can do whatever they want. They could be like, okay, seems like they should be around the block by now. Let's send that deli sign past again. They're back at the same deli.
Yeah, they keep circling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea.
Well, do you have any other pet peeves before I...
Not really. I mean...
Do you have anything you want to tell the people?
Let's see. There's probably something I want to tell them.
You take your time. I'm chilling.
Let's get a good night and good news.
And to all,
a good
burger.
May I take your order?